Hi there, Oceana here with G3 Agency with your free website audit for fast forward services in Houston, Texas. In this free SEO website audit provided by G3 Agency, I'm going to show you 3 to 4 things that you can do to get fast forward in front of the people who are searching for building, remodeling, and concrete services in the Houston area. Like I said to Eliza on the phone, I don't expect anything in return for this video. My goal here is to give you the information that you need in order to do these things yourself, with the idea, of course, that this is sort of like a business card with oomph, in that if this is something that you're interested in going forward with, but you simply don't have the time and you see that I'm the expert, you might come back and we can chat about a possible partnership, of course, right? But the idea behind this is that you have the information. You can go forward and do these things yourself. It's the only way that I feel comfortable showing people my skills, is by just giving freely with the idea that the right person will come back to me, right? So let's just jump right in. So the first thing that I always look for in a website when I'm looking is the click to call phone number at the top. And you do have it, so well done. I would make it maybe a little bit bigger, but honestly, I'm being picky at this point. You've got it there and it's great. Okay, so then the next thing is content. How many words are on the page and what are they saying? Are they relevant? Do they explain what you do, who you do it for, how you do it, what tools you use? And it looks like you do a pretty good job, but I would really suggest that you increase the amount of words on your page because Google loves content. I'm telling you, if you have lots and lots of words about what you do, who you do it for, etc., Google's going to really love that. It's going to see you as an expert and it's going to push you further to the top of the results on the Google page, on the results page. And that's really what we want because people are looking on Google for your services and we want you to be the one to show up, right? Okay, so then also if I right click on an image, this is a fun little trick that I learned a while back. Let's see if this one will work. Not quite like that. Oh, that's weird. Okay, let's find, maybe if I go to residential, I'll find a regular image to do this with. Okay, so if I right click on an image and click Save Image As, I can see that this image was saved as Carpentry, Houston, Texas, Fast Forward Services. So this is actually a step above most people. A lot of times this is just like a string of numbers, or it'll say like image 1 or something. So this is, I'd say this is like a C grade, right? Whereas an A grade, or taking full advantage of these images, would be to save them as specific key phrases that people are actually typing into Google when they're looking for your services, so that way you seem the most relevant when they search for those things. So that's kind of a little trick that we have that we like to take advantage of. And then finally, if I type Ahrefs into Google here, I mean, not Ahrefs, what am I saying? If I go to Ahrefs and I put your URL into this search bar here, I can see kind of where you're at when it comes to how your website's performing. Because in my world, it's one thing for it to look pretty, which your website absolutely does, by the way. It looks fantastic. But it's another thing for it to actually function as a lead generation machine, which I can tell yours really isn't doing that much. You might be getting a job or two from your website here and there, but you're really not getting it. It doesn't look like you're getting regular jobs from your site from the numbers I'm looking at here. So a few really important metrics that I like to look at when I'm looking at this page is your UR, your DR, your backlinks, referring domains. Those are some really important numbers, so I'll explain them. Your UR score is basically how trustworthy Google thinks that your web page is, this specific page, which in this case is your home page. And then your DR score is that same thing, but for your entire website as a whole. So I can see here that you've got quite an imbalance here, meaning that all of the work that you've put into being found on your website is all going to your home page, which is causing that imbalance, and it's going to be causing a distrust with Google, because they're going to be thinking, well, they're putting all this effort into being seen on their home page, but they're not putting any effort into being into their other pages to make them, strong and have lots of good content and all that. So that must mean that maybe they're trying to, maybe it's scammy, or maybe they're trying to pull a fast one or something. So it's really important to have these pretty even. And how you do that is by increasing the amount of backlinks and referring domains that go to your site and making sure that there's more of a balance there and that they're not all going to your homepage. Now I'm going to explain what backlinks and referring domains are. So a backlink is any link that goes from another website back to your website, and a referring domain is just one of those sites that has a link to your site on it. So you want to make sure to go out and get more referring domains that are pointing to not only your homepage, but to the other pages as well. And you want to make sure that those referring domains have DR scores that are a lot higher than yours. I would go after like, 20 being the lowest, probably really going after those 30s and above. This goes all the way to 100, by the way. So the higher, the better. And so, yeah, you want to go out and get more referring domains and spread them all over your website. Okay, so this is where we get into the really fun stuff. This is the Keyword Explorer part of this tool, Ahrefs. And I've put in Houston as kind of a starting point. And then I also added some other words to kind of cross-compare. So concrete, remodel, these little stars here, those mean like a wild card. So this could mean remodeling, remodelers, and then same thing with construction, builders, and that's it for right now. That's all I put in. We have some here that are like, okay, so custom home builder Houston. This would be a really good one. There are 4 things that I look for in a good keyword. So let's go over those. Something that you do, somewhere that you do it, high volume, and low KD. So somewhere that you do, something that you do and somewhere that you do it obviously just kind of narrows down who it is that's looking for services and where they're at, so that you can make sure to be the person they're looking for when you show up in front of them, So somebody typing in custom home builders, without the where you do it part, they could be anywhere. So if you're showing up for that, it's not necessarily very helpful if they happen to be in LA or New York or something like that, or any of the other thousands of towns in America. So the Houston part is very important. And then high volume is going to be how many people are searching for that exact phrase, spelled that just that same way in that order and everything, each month. So this is a monthly volume. So almost 2,000 people are typing custom home builder Houston into Google every single month. So if you were sitting at the top of that, honestly, you probably wouldn't be able to take on all of that work. I mean, that's a lot of people looking for your services, right? And then KD, this is another important metric here. So keyword difficulty is what KD stands for, keyword difficulty. And basically, it's on a scale from 0 to 100, how difficult does Ahrefs, this tool we're using, think it would be to get to the first page of Google. Now, a 54 out of 100 may not sound like a lot, but it really is quite high for what we like to go after. We really like to go after like 5 and below. Those are going to be quick wins. They're not going to take as long to rank for. 10 and below is pretty within reach. Any further up, you go from there. It's just going to it's going to take longer. It's going to take more effort, more backlinks, etc. to win for that keyword. So I'm going to show you a few that I think might actually be a little more promising. And this one here, it's got a really low KD, but Builders Surplus Houston, I don't think that they're looking for your services, right? Pardon me. So here's one, bathroom remodeling Houston. There are 800 people searching for that, and probably a good third of them are ready to buy right this second, right? They're like ready to go. So that could be a really good one to show up for if you're open to doing bathroom remodeling, right? I know those are smaller jobs. They don't pay quite as well. And so that would be like a quick win if you're looking for just like a little boost, to get your name out there. And then there's some, there's even more. There's Houston bathroom remodeling. Now, bathroom remodeling Houston and Houston bathroom remodeling, you and I think of that as the same keyword, but Google does not. So for them, for me, I look at this and I think, okay, well, that's about 1,500. I mean, is that 1,500? Yeah, 1,500 people looking for all the same thing. And it's about the same keyword difficulty. But to Google, these are 2 different phrases. So it's just the difference between how humans think and how the robots think. So here's the one I actually ended up focusing on for the rest of this video. Kitchen remodeling Houston. Why? Because it's got about the same about the same amount of search volume, about the same KD. It wouldn't take much longer to get to, but I know that kitchen remodeling jobs have a lot, you know, you get more money for those, so they're more worth it, but then also they're more likely to turn into a larger job than a bathroom remodel job. I know that from working with other people who have done that. So that's the one I chose to focus on. But then there's also this one here. This one is interesting because it's still got a pretty low KD, but it's talking about whole home builders, which I know is like a very, you know, you want to show up for that one for sure. But because the way that it's worded, Google might be looking for more, oops, I didn't mean to click on that. Google's probably going to be looking more at directories for a keyword like that one, so it may not be best. But anyways, I'm going to focus on that kitchen remodeling Houston one for the rest of this, you know, these 4 minutes I have left. I won't make it over 15 minutes, I promise. So we've got some ads that show up, right? Some people do click on these, but most people see that it says ad and they don't click on it on purpose. And then we have the first organic result right here. So this is a really, this is the most coveted spot on the Google results page. It's the first result that's not an ad, and it'll get approximately 30% of all the clicks. So if there were 600 people coming to the site, you know, 30 times 6, I don't know, I'm not very, 3 times 6, 180 people are going to be probably clicking on this link every month. So that's pretty good, and I can tell these guys are going to be doing a lot of kitchen remodeling jobs, right? So now we look at their site and we want to know what is it that they're doing right and what is it that we can do better than them. So they've definitely got more content than you do. I can tell that they kind of know what they're doing when it comes to SEO right now because they've got a lot of content on there. And then if I right click on an image and click Save Image As, I can see that they have saved this image as kitchen cabinets refreshing, kitchen cabinets refacing, oh, refinishing, refacing Houston, Texas. So I think they might be going after some of those keywords. And so it looks like they're taking advantage of those images. So we're definitely going to want to do that as well. And then here I put them into Ahrefs, and we can see that they have a pretty well balanced DUR and DR score here. And it didn't take them very many backlinks and referring domains to get there. So that means they're going after pretty high quality backlinks. And actually I can take a look here, and yeah, we have, but we do have some low scoring ones along with some higher scores. So that's going to look pretty natural to Google, which is good, but that's what we want to do as well. And then we can actually, I have just long enough to show you this cool thing too. We can go into their organic keywords so we can see what they're showing up for. This is kind of fun. I'm a nerd. I love this kind of stuff. So we have kitchen remodeling Houston. They're showing up. It says they're in the second position, but I think they're in the first now. This is probably older. Yeah, this is from the 9th. So, but and it's still good data. It's just a little outdated. But when they were sitting in the second position, they were getting 85 people to their site every month, and still that's pretty good. So if we were sitting in the spot below them even, we would probably be super busy with kitchen remodeling jobs, right? And then we can see kitchen remodelers Houston. They're sitting in the fourth position for that. 38 people are coming to their site. And we can go down and see if any of these look good for us to use as well and take advantage of those and put them into our content, save images as those phrases, etc. and go out and get backlinks and try to show up for that keyword as well. Okay, so that is the end of my presentation. I really hope that it was helpful. You got something out of it. And I do look forward to hearing from you about, you know, if you ended up doing any of this stuff or if you plan to. If you have any questions, I would really love to answer them. I'm always trying to improve these so that the next one is even better, right? So thank you very, very much for your time, for taking a look at this, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye.